Hi dear viewers, it's nice to see you again, this time with a video on cash basis. Cash basis is an accounting method that recognizes revenue and expenses when a payment is linked to the invoice or bill. This basically means that taxes are recognized and reported in the tax report only when cash bank transfers, checks, and payments of other accounts are received. This system is a standard method for specific countries, and in Odoo, you can select these features that can be used in your tax configuration. Let me show you how to do so in the database. Okay, to activate the cash basis feature, you need to go in the accounting application and more specifically in the settings of the app that you can access through the configuration menu. Once you're here in the taxes section, you have the cash basis feature that you need to activate. And you see also that we have to decide of a dedicated journal for the cash basis entries that we will create or that we create automatically. Now it's done, you can go into taxes and configure your first cash basis tax. Now I already have a cash basis tax, but all you're going to do is to take the main sales tax that you have and just going to duplicate it to adopt its configuration for cash business needs. And you put here cash basis. Now, the only thing that you have to change is within the advanced options of the tax configuration. So instead of having the tax based on the invoice, you can base it on the payment, meaning it will only appear in the tax report based on the payment. The second thing you have to configure is the transition account, because when you use a cash basis tax in an invoice, the tax amount will go first in the transit account before going finally into the main VAT account. Alright, so if you are wondering if the tax report changed based on the different methods, well, based on the cash basis or the normal tax, we will have of course a different impact on tax report. But the best way I can show you is by creating new invoices and see how the report looks like. But before that, let's go first to our tax report and see the amounts so we'll see the impacts later. Okay, so right now we have 1,245.60. So we'll now go ahead to our customers, invoices. So let's go and create two different invoices, one with the classic tax and the other with the cash basis. So here we're going to create a new invoice, and here we choose the classic tax amount. In the journal items, you can see that we have a classic invoice entry. So we have the income account, the tax account, and the receivable. So I'm going to confirm and we're going to create the second one with that in case the cash basis tax instead. So here I'm just going to change the cash basis tax. And in the journal items, you see it's slightly different because we still have our receivable, we still have our income, but the second account is not the main VAT payable, but it's going to be the transit account that I've configured in my tax configuration. If now we check out the tax report and see how it's looking, you see for the impact of my tax report is only for the first invoice. We don't have both amounts available in my tax report. So, now, if I register a payment for my invoice with cash basis, what is going to be the impact on my tax report? Well, I'm going to register the payment. Perfect. So my invoice is in payment, and you see that we have a new smart button linking the invoice to the related cash basis entry. So if we go on it and we look at what's inside, we have on one hand a neutral entry, because on the debit and on the credit, we have the same account, but the difference is that on the remaining amount for the income on the credit side, this one will have an impact on the tax report. And the second part of the entry is balancing out the transit account, so meaning that is now down to 0 and the remaining amount should go in the main payable for VAT. If we now check out the tax report and see how it looks like, you see that the amount of course has increased with the cash basis tax. We were able to see the full impact of both invoices. That's how easy it is to configure cash basis in Odoo. Thank you for watching.